Thank you all for coming to this wonderful, brief and bold session. I first came to Washington to work for USAID, and I will always be proud of my association with those dedicated professionals. Thank you. Who are committed to making the world a better place. The people at USAID implemented the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, which saved 25 million people and still counting. They implemented the President's Malaria Initiative, which saved 12 million people and still counting. As Sarah said, they showed up at a moment's notice in South Asia to respond to the devastating earthquake that hit Kashmir. They showed up at a moment's notice in Central America after Hurricane Mitch. They went to Guam, Iran, and Sichuan, China, when disasters devastated those areas because people were suffering and they were there to help those people. But there was a flaw at the heart of the way that we did development at that time, and largely still do development, which is at the end of the day, development isn't about wealth transfer. It's not about statistics. It's not about economic growth. It's about empowerment. And there's nothing that's more disempowering than showing up with a bag full of money and saying, this is how I will help you. What really empowers people is working with them as partners to develop a new and an innovative approach to how to get people the services and the resources they need to develop themselves and to grow. And it's that model that really is at the heart of investment. Investment is about being responsive to what people on the ground want. It's about empowering local enterprises. It's about focusing not on what goes in, but what comes out, the results that are created. It's about leveraging all the resources in the community, including private capital. It's about identifying what works best by testing out different models and identifying which ones are going to make a difference. And it's about integrating solutions into local systems and local opportunities. And that's what investment is all about. That is what I found when I went, as Sarah pointed out, from USAID to the Overseas Private Investment Corporation, now called the Development Finance Corporation, which was America's development bank. And where at USAID, I often found when it came to long-term development, we were pushing on a string. At what's now called DFC, it often felt that the wind was in our sails. And at this moment in time, when we're thinking about how to, as we've been exhorted to all yesterday and today and probably tomorrow too, to step up, the real big question for those of us as part of the impact investment community is how. And that's why I'm proud to announce today the first issuance of Total Impact Notes, which is a new fixed income product that pools loans to high impact intermediaries in the developing world that have a proven track record of results and gives them the fuel and the resources they need to sustain and scale the life-changing activities that they are doing on the ground. This allows them access to a streamlined source of capital that has low transaction costs and can be deployed as they need it. It allows investors a way to make a difference without having to look at every possible opportunity thousands of miles away, but by buying into a pool that includes the best opportunities that are out there. And at the end of the day, it allows people on the ground to get access to affordable capital to invest in the things that will make their life better. These are the types of organizations that we're supporting through the Total Impact Notes. Lock Fund, which is a several decade old organization that's provided microfinance institutions throughout Latin America with local currency financing so they don't have to be subject to currency risk. Nithio, a organization that funds renewable energy providers that supports distributed energy provision in rural Africa. The Neslirio Fund, which helps stop the erosion of the Amazon by supporting businesses that conserve instead of use and destroy the Amazonian rainforest. And ELU Women's Empowerment Fund, and I think I saw Eric Walston here. I don't know if he's still here, but an organization that throughout Latin America provides women-owned and women-led businesses with access to the capital they need. Right now, as we think about what is happening in the world and how we can make a difference, we need to focus on what is the requirements that are needed by people that are in the least developing countries, in the places that have least access to services, least access to capital, and how we get that capital to them. And with the total impact notes, we are doing that by working with organizations that have already shown that they can do it and giving them easy access to more resources so they can do it even at even greater scale and even with even in more instances. We are very proud for the investors who've joined us in this effort, and they include some of the premier values-aligned and impact investors in the world, including Mercy Investment Services, the Dunn Family Charitable Foundation, the Netri Foundation, Franciscan Sisters of Mary, the Ansara Family Fund, the Dunn Family Charitable Foundation, the W. O'Neill Foundation, and Third Creek Investments. They have all decided that this is part of the way that they can step up and make a difference, and I hope at some point you all will join them. Thank you very much.